Sometimes the most powerful signs are the quiet ones, the ones no one warns you about. Because when a woman can't stop doing this, it doesn't start with words, it starts with intention. She doesn't chase loudly. She doesn't confess suddenly. Instead, she lingers. In your messages, in your thoughts, in moments you didn't expect her to be there, and the truth is most people miss it. They mistake attention for kindness, connection for coincidence, and interest for nothing at all. But what if I told you, by the time you notice it, it's already happening. By the time you question it, you've already crossed her mind more times than you realize. Stay with me until the end of this video, because once you understand this, you'll never misread her signals again. Comment your location below so I know where you're watching from, and subscribe to the channel if you're ready to see people and connections more clearly. When a woman finds reasons to keep the conversation alive, it's rarely about the topic itself. It's about the connection being protected. People don't invest time where they feel indifferent, and they don't extend conversations they're ready to let fade. So when she asks another question after the point has already been made, or brings up something small just to reopen dialogue, what you're seeing is intent, not accident. This is attention guided by choice. Psychologically, humans are wired to conserve energy. We naturally withdraw from interactions that don't stimulate us emotionally or intellectually. So when a woman continues engaging even when she doesn't have to, she's signaling that the interaction provides value. Not entertainment alone, but emotional relevance. You've become a mental reference point. That's why her messages may arrive without urgency, yet never disappear entirely. She's not chasing, she's maintaining proximity. This behavior often becomes more subtle over time. Instead of long conversations, she may send short check-ins, react to things you share, or circle back to earlier discussions. Philosophically speaking, attention is the currency of meaning. We give it to what matters, and we reclaim it from what doesn't. When she keeps the channel open, she's assigning significance to you, even if she hasn't admitted that to herself yet. There's also a deeper layer at play. Sustained conversation is a form of emotional testing. She's observing how you respond, whether you listen, whether you remember details, whether you bring presence instead of performance. Each exchange becomes a data point. This isn't manipulation, it's human nature. We lean toward people who make us feel seen without demanding anything in return. What many people misunderstand is timing. They assume interest must be immediate or dramatic. In reality, attraction often grows quietly. It builds through repeated moments of psychological comfort. If she consistently returns to conversation, it means being around you feels safe, familiar, and mentally engaging. That combination is rare, and the mind protects what it finds rare. The mistake most men make is overreacting or underestimating. They either push too hard and disrupt the natural rhythm, or they dismiss the signal entirely. The intelligent response is awareness without urgency, presence without pressure. When you allow the conversation to breathe while staying grounded, you become the kind of man she doesn't feel the need to escape from. And that's the real insight here. Attention isn't about how much she says, but how often she chooses to return. When someone keeps showing up without being asked, it's not coincidence, it's clarity. The moment you understand that, you stop chasing signals and start becoming the kind of person people naturally stay connected to. When a woman begins to mirror your words, your tone, or even your emotional rhythm, what you're witnessing is not imitation for its own sake. It's alignment. Human beings mirror when they feel safe, understood, and drawn towards someone at a psychological level. This isn't something people consciously decide to do. It happens beneath awareness, guided by the nervous system, not strategy. That's why mirroring is one of the most honest indicators of interest you'll ever see. From a psychological standpoint, mirroring is rooted in our need for connection. We naturally sync with people we want to feel closer to. You'll notice she starts using phrases you use, adopts your sense of humor, or matches the pace of your communication. If you're calm, she becomes calmer. If you're playful, she leans into playfulness. This is her mind saying, I'm comfortable here. Comfort precedes attraction, and attraction deepens through familiarity. Philosophically, mirroring reflects a desire for shared reality. When someone mirrors you, they're stepping into your frame of reference. They're not trying to dominate the interaction or stand apart from it. They're meeting you where you are. That's significant because people only do this when they see value in the connection. Indifference doesn't mirror. Disinterest doesn't adapt. Only attention does. What makes this signal powerful is its consistency. Anyone can mirror briefly. Very few sustain it over time. If her responses continue to match your energy across different moods and situations, it means you've become a stable point in her emotional environment. You're predictable in a way that feels grounding, not boring. And the human mind is drawn to what feels grounding. Many men misinterpret mirroring as coincidence or friendliness. Others sabotage it by suddenly changing their behavior, testing reactions, or overperforming. The irony is that mirroring fades when pressure enters the interaction. The moment you try to force connection, alignment disappears. The most effective approach is to remain centered in who you are, allowing her to meet you there naturally. Mirroring is also evaluative. She's unconsciously checking whether staying aligned with you feels good over time. Do you escalate tension unnecessarily? Do you stay present or become reactive? Each response either strengthens or weakens the emotional loop. This is why authenticity matters more than cleverness. The more grounded you are, the easier it is for her to stay in sync. And here's the deeper truth. When someone mirrors you consistently, they're not just interested in you. They're rehearsing what closeness would feel like. They're testing emotional compatibility before it ever becomes a conversation. Once you recognize that, you stop trying to impress and start focusing on integrity. Because the strongest attraction doesn't come from being impressive, it comes from being steady. When a woman starts bringing you into her personal world, the shift is subtle but profound. This isn't about oversharing or emotional dumping. It's about inclusion. She begins to reference her day, her thoughts, her frustrations, and her small victories, not because she needs advice, but because she wants you present in her inner life. Psychologically, this is one of the clearest signals of trust. And trust is the foundation on which attraction either grows or collapses. Human beings protect their inner world carefully. We don't invite just anyone into it. So when she starts sharing details that have no immediate purpose, she's signaling emotional openness. She's allowing you access to how she processes life. This is less about information and more about connection. It's her way of saying, this is how I see the world. Notice me here. That invitation carries weight, whether it's spoken aloud or not. Philosophically, inclusion is a form of recognition. To include someone is to acknowledge their relevance. When she asks for your opinion or tells you about something that affected her emotionally, she's testing how you respond to vulnerability. Do you listen without interrupting? Do you respect the moment or rush to fix it? Your response determines whether the door opens further or quietly closes. This is where many people make mistakes. They assume sharing equals obligation. They feel pressure to solve, impress, or escalate. But emotional inclusion isn't about performance, it's about presence. The more calmly you hold space, the safer she feels. And safety, contrary to popular belief, doesn't kill attraction. It deepens it. The mind doesn't attach to chaos, it attaches to consistency. Over time, inclusion becomes habitual. She may update you without thinking, mention you in future plans, or check in simply because it feels natural. At this stage, you're no longer just someone she talks to. You're part of her psychological landscape. You exist in her thoughts even when you're not physically present. That's not accidental. That's attachment forming quietly. But inclusion also comes with responsibility. Not the responsibility to be perfect, but to be emotionally aware. How you react when she opens up teaches her what kind of closeness is possible with you. Dismissiveness, impatience, or ego-driven responses create distance. Attentiveness, curiosity, and emotional restraint create depth. The connection either strengthens or weakens based on these micro moments. Here's the deeper insight. When someone includes you in their personal world, they're already imagining you as part of their future, even if they haven't defined what that future looks like. They're exploring emotional compatibility in real time. And once you understand that, you stop treating attention casually and start responding with intention. Because in the end, attraction isn't built on grand gestures. It's built on the quiet decision to let someone in, and the even quieter choice to stay.